Okay, surface area this morning, we're going to talk about nets. And nets are simply the opened up picture of a solid. Solid. So let me show you what I mean. If I have a rectangular prism and understand this is a cube, and so the cube has equal sides. Now we know that we could have a longer rectangular prism, okay? A longer one. I didn't have one of these solids to show you guys, okay? But if I had a rectangular solid, here we go. There, rectangular solid, do you see it? Okay, it has the two bases that are parallel to each other. Okay, and if we found the volume, we would find the area of the base and then just take it times the height, right? But now we're going to talk about surface area, and surface area would be the part of this rectangular prism that I could paint. Volume was how much this would hold. Surface area is just the outside part that I could paint, the two ends and all the sides, okay? So to help you understand surface area a little bit more, then we took the rectangular prism apart and looked at all the pieces that we could paint. Do y'all see? This is called a net. So you can see that here are the two bottoms, the bases, and then here are each of the sides. Now there are formulas, and we'll talk about the formulas in just a minute. There's a formula to find surface area of a rectangular prism, but if you forgot, then all you would have to do is separate this off, find the area of this piece, which would be exactly the same as the area of the other base. And then you would find the area of the side, the area of this rectangle, the area of this rectangle, and the area of this rectangle, and you could just add all those together, okay? That would be the surface area, is just find the area of all the pieces and add those together. Now, I want to tell you something. I don't know that you'll see it on the GED test, but it's my job to prepare you for anything. And so if they talk about surface area, they're talking about all of this that you could paint. But if they say lateral surface area, they mean all of it except the bases. So you wouldn't find the area of the bases. This is lateral, L-A-T-E-R-A-L, lateral surface area, where you just find the area of each piece. Let's look at some other solids real quick. Here's another net. These are called nets when the figure is torn apart and opened up. This is called a net. And it looks like this is probably the base. I don't see two bases. So let's put this back into its solid. And you can see that it becomes a pyramid with one base. Okay. So I have a piece of paper here that it was an afterthought. So you guys at home don't have it yet. But we may try to do it together. We'll see how that works. But here's a pyramid, and here is its net. Again, if you forget how to use the formula that they give you on the formula chart, then you would find the area of this base, and then you would find the area of this triangle, this triangle, this triangle, and this triangle, and then just add them all together. But again, there is a formula, and we'll talk about that. Okay, another one. Here's another net.
How is that even learning, laying on the couch?
Okay, this one would probably be a pyramid also because it looks like, hi, Luanny.
Hi.
because it looks like it just has one base. But when we fold it and put it back together, we find a pyramid again, but look at the base. Now it's a triangle that's on the base. Y'all see? A pyramid. So what today is all about is recognizing what net goes with what solid. Now that's part of it. We're also going to find surface area. Again, if you forgot the formula or how to use it, you would find the area of this triangle, this one, and this one, and add the areas together, okay? This is a triangular pyramid because it comes to a point and has only one base, and that base is a triangle. So it's called a triangular pyramid. Again, a couple of them that look really strange are these right here. But if we put this back together, you can see that we have a cylinder. Two bases, we have a cylinder. Okay, and the net looks like this. Okay, now the lateral surface area that I talked to you about just a minute ago, lateral means without the bases. So you would only find this much area for the lateral surface area. Lateral means not including the bases, okay? And one more, help you get the idea here. Strange one, what do you think? What do you think it is? All of y'all are muted. If you want to talk. It's a cone, yes it is.
Yeah.
Okay, we have, if we start to, and this is a little bit difficult for me without tape. But I'll give you the idea. Here is the cone. I would have to tape it up. Here's the bottom, which is a circle, and it comes to a point at the top. Okay, if I could get it all put together. This is a cone. Y'all see?
Yeah.
Okay. In just a little bit, I'll send out that extra page that was an afterthought. Luannie, I had this also, and this should go with your packet that says surface area with the nets, okay? I haven't sent this one yet, but I'll send it after our class, okay? The one last thing I want to show you as far as the nets and show you visuals is I have this kind of funky little ball, okay? And this ball, we found out yesterday, is called a sphere, okay? And we had a formula that would tell us how to find how much this would fill up with water or how much sand it would hold inside. But today we're going to be finding surface area. Now I didn't see a net for the surface area, okay? But we would find the surface area of this. Now, yesterday we found how much this fills, how much fills it, and we found out that we lost somebody. Okay, we found out that if I wanted just the hemisphere, if I just wanted the volume of a hemisphere, hang on, he's coming back in. Okay, yesterday, we found if I wanted to find the volume of this hemisphere,
I'm back.
then I would find the volume of the whole sphere and then just take it divided by 2. I would just divide it in half, right? But today we're going to need to be very, very careful. Very, very careful about finding surface area of a hemisphere, because now if we're going to find surface area of a hemisphere, that means half of this. Then I would find the surface area of the whole piece. And yes, I only want half of it. So I would divide it in half. Okay, I would divide it in half, which you would think would be the answer. Surface area, take it times half, that's surface area of half. But what we need to remember is it's all of the area that you could paint. So I could not only paint all of this half of the sphere, but now that I've cut it open, I could paint this also, right? So we'll practice this. We'll practice finding the surface area of a sphere, but understand that it's not like volume. We're going to find the surface area of the full sphere. We're going to divide it in half. So we divide by 2. But then we're going to have to add this area that it exposed when I cut it in half. Okay, just a little overview of surface area. Do y'all understand what we're trying to find in all of these?
Yes.
Okay, we're trying to find only the part on the outside, the area on the outside that we could paint, including the bases. We don't include the bases if they say lateral surface area. Surface area. There's some music somewhere. Okay, surface area is going to be finding all the pieces of this. Now, get your formula chart. And I'm going to pause this recording while I get set up to use the chalkboard. Okay? Okay, so we're back. The first page of this is just giving you the net. This one says it's a rectangular prism. It tells you what it is. All they want you to do here, this is an introductory page so that you can understand what surface area is. And so they just want you to count the squares and find out what the surface area is. They said that one of the blocks is 1 square foot. So you just count them and your answer will be in square feet. So in this case, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times 3. So this little piece is 21. So you can just write 21 right inside. This one is 21, this one is 21, and this one is 21. This one, if you count the squares, is 9, and this is 9. You will add those numbers together, and that's the total surface area. And you put the answer here, okay? These are all rectangular prisms until this is a cube down here. Again, it would fold and go together like a little cube. And then this one over here is going to be a, just a minute, I went blank. Triangular prism, it says it right there, but I was looking at the piece. Okay, it's a triangular prism because these are the 2 bases and then these fold up to the top. But we have 2 parallel bases that are equal, so that's a triangular prism. Do you guys understand what you're going to do here on this page?
Yeah.
Everybody okay? All right. Page 2, you're going to do the same thing. Now, page 3. Page 3 looks like this. And what you're going to do now is they want you to tell them what is the name of this shape. This one will be a rectangular prism. And then you'll find the surface area. So you'll find the area of this piece, and so on until you get them all and add them together. All right? Okay. Now on this right here, this problem right here, you're going to be able to find the area of this triangle and the area of this triangle and the area of this triangle. The reason that you know that this and this and this area will be the same is because on this base, these are the same. See, the lengths are all 8 yards. So that means the area of each one of these triangles is going to be the same. Now, when you get to this triangle, you need a base times the height. You need a base times the height. Well, this could be the base. We're just looking at the middle triangle now. This could be the base, or is, but the height has to be perpendicular to the base. So you're going to have to use Pythagorean theorem to find this. Let me draw this on the board. This is number 3 on page 3. And this is the middle triangle. The other triangles are coming out like this. Okay, but this is what we're talking about right here. This is 8 yards. This is 8 yards. And this is 8 yards. Now, to avoid any kind of confusion, I'm just going to take away the outside triangles because we are able to find the area of that. But then when it comes to the base, it looks a little confusing. You can't take 8 times 8 and divide it by 2. That's not it. The area of a triangle equals the base times the height. Now remember that the height has to be perpendicular to a base. So whichever base you choose, let's just choose this. It's an upside down triangle. Let's just use this as the base. The height has to be perpendicular to the base. And we don't know that number. But we do know, pulling it out now again, sometimes if you just pull these pictures out, it helps. I pulled this triangle out to here. So let's put the information on it. This slanted part is 8. Now this part right here, you can see is only half of this side. It only comes to here. So this is only 4 yards. And we don't know this. But if you'll notice, this is a right triangle. And so with a right triangle, we can use 2 sides to find the other side by using the Pythagorean theorem. So if you're missing a measurement, you can use the Pythagorean theorem. Let's use this as C because that's the longest side. It always has to be. So the A squared plus B squared equals C squared is Pythagorean theorem. The C has to be the longest side again, so we have 8 squared equals 4 squared plus H squared. Okay? And then we simply solve this problem. We have 64 here. And now we have 48 equals H squared. Forgot to get out my calculator, so I'll go do that. So H is going to equal approximately, because we'll round it, square root of 48 is approximately 6.9. Now 6.9 isn't the answer to this problem. It's simply the answer to what the height is. Now we can do the base times the height. So we have 8 times 6.9 And we get the area is approximately 55.42 yards squared. Now, we're back to squared because we're doing surface area, and area is in square units. Area is in square units. Now I'm going to look at the answer. Oh, it won't have just that. This is the area of that middle triangle. You will add it. So this is 55.42, and then you'll find the area of this one, find the area of this one, and find the area of this one. And they give you the height on those. Oh, they're right triangles. No, they're not. You're going to have what I'll be. Oh, yeah. The top one, this is 5 yards. This is 5 yards. And it says, it gives you the height here. Now, this one says it's 5, and this one says it's 5, and this is 8. So you can see that if it's 5, 5, and 8, this is going to have the same height. This one's going to have the same height. So let's find the area of this. It will be base. Uh-oh. Did anybody see something wrong with what I just did? Anybody catch it? You guys are asleep this morning. The area of a triangle is 1/2 the base times the height. Triangle, you have to take it divided by 2. Silly Deborah. So we have 27.72. Okay, 27.72 yards squared. Okay. Now let's try this again. Now to find the area of this will be the base times the height, but then I need to divide by 2. So I've got 8 times 3 is 24, but I divide 24 by 2, and I have 12 square yards for that one, 12 square yards for that one, and 12 square yards for that one. So to find the surface area, I'm going to have to add all those together. And I get a surface area of approximately 63.72 yards squared. I'm going to compare that with the answer. Because we rounded here and here, there's a really good chance that this is off a few decimal places. Let me see what the answer is they give us in the back, because their answers, they use all the decimal places way out here in the multiplication. They don't round. So, oh, we got pretty close. The answer on the back, 63.71 yards squared. The difference here is just because of our rounding during the calculation. Did y'all follow that? Are we okay?
Yeah.
Even when I made a mistake in the beginning?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, mathematics, you're going to make a mistake. Just understand when you do and fix it. Okay? We're not perfect. Are you okay, Luanny? Okay. And Brandy is doing a breathing treatment with her child. Lorenzo, how are we doing?
We're doing good.
Okay. All right, let's move on then. Now on page 4, I don't think you have this on yours, but I want you to make a point. Look at page 4, whether you're numbered or not. It looks like this. And there's this star thing right here. And then this one down here. Both of them, this has a pentagon. This has a hexagon here. I haven't taught you how to find the area of those, and I don't think you're going to need it for the GED test. So on this page right here up at the top, it says sheet 1, has this title, and has this star thing. Omit this and omit this one. Okay, you don't need those. This is on page 4. Let's look at page 5. Now, they put the nets back together. And they want you to find the surface area. Now, of course, you can take this apart in your brain or write it down and you can find the area of each piece. But there is a formula on your formula chart. You see where my formula charts got off to. They disappeared. Okay. Going to pause again, have to find a formula chart. Okay, you'll look on your formula chart and toward the center, it says surface area and volume. That means they gave you 2 formulas. So for the the rectangular right prism, the SA means surface area. So let me put this on the board and explain it to you, and we'll do number 1. So our first picture and it has 9 inches, 13 inches, 3 inches. Okay, and just ahead of all of this stuff, remember that we're finding areas, so our units are going to be squared units. Okay? This P is something that we haven't dealt with yet, and this stands for the perimeter of the base. The perimeter, if you go back to the first thing we did with these solids, we found the perimeter. Perimeter is simply the distance around the base. Here's the base that it's sitting on. And we want the perimeter. So if the front is 13, the back is 13. If this side is 9, then this side is 9. Okay, and to find the perimeter, you simply add all the sides together. So we have 44. If you add 13 plus 13 plus 9 plus 9 for the P, The perimeter of the base, it's going to be 44. Now, one thing, if you can't remember what the P stands for, it's really cool because they have a reminder right on here. Look. P is the perimeter of the base. Big B is the area of the base. Okay? So they'll remind you what the P is on the formula chart, and you get the formula chart in the test. So P is 44 times the height of the prism, 3, plus, now I need to find the area of the base. So 2 times whatever the area of the base is. And the area of the base is length times width, okay? So I have, I think it's 117. 13 times 9 is how I got that. Yes. And then simply do the math. 132 plus 234 is 366 inches. And remember again, it's area, so it's inches squared. Do y'all understand the formula? Anybody have any questions with the formula?
No, ma'am.
Okay, we're okay?
Yes, ma'am.
So far,
Let me make sure. Yeah, we did get that one right. Okay, so that's all you're going to do on page 5. Page 6 is going to be the very same. We're going to practice some more surface area of rectangular prisms, exactly like this one we just did on the board. On page 7, we're going to do exactly the same thing, but they gave you fractions to deal with. They don't ever let you get away from fractions. On page 8. Okay. Okay. Now the same thing is going to happen here. This is a triangular prism, but it is a prism. Prism, okay? So the only difference here, let's do this one. This is 12 inches, 10 inches, 18 inches, and the height of this triangle itself is 8 inches, okay? We're going to use exactly the same formula because it says not only is it a rectangular prism, but it is also for a right prism. A right prism is all what you're going to be dealing with. Okay, so same formula, surface area of this prism. It's a prism because it has 2 bases that are exactly alike and parallel to each other. That's why this is a prism, and that's why you're using this formula. Now, the formula says, first of all, you're going to have to find the base. And the base are the ones that are equal. And so I have this as my base. So I have 12, 10, and 10. Okay, so I have to find the perimeter of the base. 10, 20, 32 is the perimeter of the base. times the height of the prism, 14, plus 2 times the area of the base. Now we found out that the base is a triangle this time. So to find the area of this triangle, I have to take the area of a triangle is 1/2 times the base times the height. And notice this is a little b, so it's just this line. So 1/2 times 12 times 8. Notice that it's 8, the one that's perpendicular to the base, not the 10. 1/2 12 times 8, and so the area of the base is going to be 48 square inches, and I need 2 of those bases. Now I've completed this formula. All I have to do is the math. So I have 32 times 14 plus 2 times 48. So my surface area of this triangular prism should be 544 inches squared because it's area. How are we doing there? This is okay?
Yeah.
And we did get that one correct. Surface, okay, let's just do, we're going to continue on this tomorrow. Just do pages 1 through 8 before tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll talk about the surface area of cylinders and cones and spheres. Okay, this is where we're going to start tomorrow. So do all of the prisms, the rectangular prisms, okay? Now there's nobody in class today. Everybody is out, but I have one of our class that just came in to share some awesome news with the class, and they're not here. And so she's going to come up here for me. Yes, she is. This is Amanda, and I want her to share her news with you. And her daughter's here too. So let's do this. You come on. Okay, we want to make sure that we see you too, sweetie. There she is. Now get on the picture. There we go. There we go. This is Amanda. She's been in my class for a little while. And do you want to take the mask off so you can share?
Sure.
Okay.
I passed.
She passed the GED Math yesterday.
That's
She
good.
passed her GED Math, and that's the last one.
My last one.
That's the last one, guys. Have you already printed it off? Not
No, I'm
yet.
about to.
She came to print off her certificate. She is going to graduate June the 5th with us.
Yay,
Yay!
that's good.
I'm so
Thank you.
excited. I'm kind of disappointed there wasn't anybody in class, but she passed yesterday with flying colors. The girl is a high school graduate. Yay! Yay! Congratulations. Are you proud of your mommy? I have to find out what your name is. I'm done for today, guys.